Hi friends, Don Barrar here with the December 2025 Real Estate Review and Market Forecast for Fountain Hills. The popular media is at it again. Over the last couple of weeks, I've read reports that sellers are taking their homes off the market, and there's this huge buyer's market with sellers significantly discounting their properties to get them to sell. These reports are based on averages across the United States. I really feel sorry for those poor souls that accept this information at face value without considering local market conditions. There can be huge variations in communities that are even adjacent to one another. In Fountain Hills, there is no strong buyer's market. Properties are not being discounted to get them to sell. You will see this in the data that Fountain Hills is a neutral market. If you take nothing away from this video about real estate, remember the following saying. If all you consider is the average temperature in Minnesota, then you do not need a winter coat. Before we get started, let me give myself a shameless plug. I do this report for Fountain Hills because this is where I live. But I've sold homes throughout the entire Phoenix metropolitan area. I reject the premise that you must be a neighborhood specialist to be a good realtor. Anyone that tells you this is just using their gut to develop their opinions. After all, appraisers are not neighborhood specialists. They work throughout the valley because RESPA, the Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act, requires appraisers be selected at random by the lender. My goal is to be as analytical as possible and to use large data sets to develop my opinion. I believe this is the best approach. After all, purchasing a home is likely to be the largest financial decision that you will make. Why leave it to some gut feeling? I have the same market information for numerous communities throughout the valley that I have for Fountain Hills. I obtain it through applications I developed that each month pull information automatically from the MLS. I do not create videos for these communities because frankly I'd spend all my time doing videos instead of working as a realtor. So if you're following this video, but are interested in a community different from Fountain Hills, give me a call. Let's talk. One more thing before we get started. This video was created by a real human. AI is not used to make these videos. Everything is crafted by me in my home office. Okay, let's examine what's going on with the Fountain Hills real estate market and make a few predictions. For November, median selling price rose to $837,000 and median selling price per square foot fell to $358. Again, these results are consistent with a neutral market we are now in. Look at the chart. Median selling price per square foot since July of 2024 is bouncing around $370. There are no price trends up or down. Home prices are stable, and by definition, this is a neutral market. The number of homes sold in November was 36 units. This was below my pre-month estimate of 40 units. However, this was a short month with Thanksgiving falling on a Thursday and the last day of the month falling on a Sunday. For the month of December, I forecast that 45 properties will close escrow. December will also be a short month with Christmas and New Year's holidays falling midweek. I would not be surprised if I come up a little short on the ultimate number of closings for December. If that happens, these closings will be pushed into January. Begin December, inventory declined to 148 units. Inventory declines in November are not unusual as sellers do not want to be disturbed during the holidays. Still, inventory is about 20% greater than this time last month. Again, because of the holidays, I would not be surprised if inventory continues to fall a little more. This is just a seasonal phenomenon, so I expect this. Let's look at the inventory turn rate. This is calculated by taking the current inventory of homes and dividing by the number of homes sold the previous month. Inventory turn rate is a terrific measure of determining whether it's a buyer's or a seller's market. A result greater than 6 months inventory is a buyer's market, and less than 4 months inventory is a seller's market. Anything between 4 and 6 months inventory is considered a neutral market in which neither buyers or sellers have the upper hand in negotiations, and prices tend to be stable. We begin December with an inventory turn rate of 4.1 months, just barely a neutral market. This results in line with last month's forecast where I predicted that we would begin December with a borderline seller to neutral market. To begin January, I forecast an inventory turn rate that will be in strong seller's market territory, something around 3 months. But I do not believe that we are in a strong seller's market. As we move through January, I expect inventory to again rise and sales to be at a pace that will result in a neutral market throughout the duration of the winter and early spring. That's it for December's 2025 Fountain Hills Market Report. If you've not already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Arizona Real Estate with Don Barrar, and I'll be certain to get you more great real estate videos and where to go and what to do in the Valley of the Sun. Talk with you soon.